Good morning. Happy Saturday, the last broadcast of October. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we get together every Saturday morning from Morelia and we talk about the joys of living in Mexico. We got all the sexy people from around the planet watching the show today, showing up the show and share with how sexy they are. And I know they're all sexy because they're all here with me and they just want to show off and let everybody know how magnificent they are. It's a great day here in Mexico. I'm happy again. We have electricity. We have cameras working this morning. Our computers are working good. I found out some new tips on how to keep both of my Macs running really good. The computers are good this morning. We've got high-speed internet. We're running at about 500 meg. Hopefully, we don't have any blips. And for those of you that show up regularly, the tamale guy just went by. Maybe he won't be back. We've got a bunch of video clips to share with you. Took a couple of trips this week. I took 2 trips. It was wild and crazy. But the Mexican people have been showing me a lot of love this week, as always. And that's why I've been in Mexico for almost 20 years. In February, it'll be 20 years. I've lived in Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Ajijic, Chapala, lived in, where did I live last? Mazatlan, and I've been in Morelia for about 3.5. Wow. In 1 week, I will have been here for 4 months in Morelia. I think it's my best pick yet. And if you're new here, I'm just the guy who shows up on Saturday and I answer questions about moving to Mexico. I give people ideas about where they might want to live in Mexico. So don't be shy. If you're new here, feel free to click that like button. If you like what you see, feel free to click that subscribe button. We've been doing this for about 3.5 years now. So it's your show. This is not my show. It's not the Bill Dallas Lewis show. It's not the Bill the Geek show. This is your show. So ask questions, leave comments. And also, we haven't had anybody on the show for an interview for a long time. So if you would like to join us live, I just send you a link and you can be on live with us. We got who's in the house? We got Marco in the house in Chicago, getting his car fixed, watching us live while he gets his car. We've had 3 interviews with Marco. Great to see you here. We have the fabulous Char Williams. I was talking to the tamale guy's back. He must come by here at 9 o'clock every Saturday, the tamale guy. But Char Williams is in the house. Me and Dominique had breakfast yesterday, and we were talking about Char Williams yesterday. We got Mary Jane in the house. We got Don Cole in the house. I will be lakeside on November 4th. That's about 10 days away, lakeside. Whoa, good for you, Don Cole, lakeside in Ajijic. And she has to clarify it to let us know what she really thinks. We have the one, the only Brian, pretty boy, maiden Brian. We all hope that you're feeling better this week. Mary Jane, hola, Holly. That's funny. We got Holly in the background over there with my football. Holly talks to me at nighttime. She tells me jokes. She's just a hoot at nighttime. If she's not, she's really boring in the daytime, but she sneaks out. Holly is the little elf back there. She's getting ready for Christmas, but around 7 o'clock at night, she goes out and does fentanyl, and then she's up here playing the stereo loud and dancing all around the apartment. She's really something. She thinks, so she speaks, is in the house saying hello to each and every one. And G. Fontaine, with her fine self and her gray glasses, looking good this morning like every Saturday. And the buck is in the house. Blessed Saturday to you also. And Stephen Nathan is in the house. Good morning. Oh, who's the munchkin sitting behind me? That's Holly. That's Holly, Stephen. I met her at Christmas Town, and I bought her. Yeah, I did a video on Christmas Town. It's about an hour and a half away from here. Fabulous place to visit. Don Cole, happy Saturday. And Tooth Fairy, the one and only Tooth Fairy living here in Morelia, just got back from Las Vegas with her man. She had a fabulous time, but she's happy to be back in Morelia. Lenora Wilson and her doggies in the house. And look who is here. Dominique. We had breakfast yesterday. Dominique's really interesting. She's traveled the world, and she's trying to figure out where to live in Mexico, but she's being so smart about it. She's going, she was in Guadalajara for a month. She's been here for a month. She's going to go to Guanajuato for a month or two, trying to figure out what really feels good and what a way to pick a place to live in Mexico. Very smart. She's lived all over the world, Japan, Europe, Sweden, all kinds of stuff. Oh, she's a fabulous individual, super intelligent. Glad you could join us today, Dominique. And Wayne is in-house. Chi-Town Wayne here. I'm here and was with Rosie Saturday. Like to meet up with you. Wayne, tell you what, dude, just drop me a line at bill.dallas.lewis10@gmail.com. I'm going to leave it up there for about 15 seconds. Write it down. Shoot me an email. I'm kind of booked up. Sometimes I'm busy, man. I tell you what, my week is busy. This week was busy as a mofo. But drop me a line to see if we can fit you in to the calendar. Let's get back to comments over here. Let's see. Okay. I'm missing something. Don Cole, Tooth Fairy, Lenora. Okay. Big up yourself, Char. Oh, that's nice. Char in the house. I will be in Ahiheek. Okay. Here we go. Howdy, Bill from hot Dallas. It's hot in Dallas. Well, good for you. Okay, Brian spent a couple of days. Oh my God, Brian, I spent a couple of days in an emergency. Only took 24 hours to get in to see a doctor. Oh my God, is it that bad in Mexico? Brian, man, no, in Mexico. Okay, Brian came to Mexico. He had this big trip planned, and he was going to visit Mazatlan. He was going to visit me in Mazatlan. Then he had kind of like a medical emergency, so he had to go back to Canada. I think you had some bad experiences with doctors down here, but once you get to Mexico, and find the right doctors. You can call them right at home. They will come right over to your house. Doctors here in Mexico are fabulous because they're not in it for the money. In the United States, they're in it for the money. In Mexico, the doctors are here to help people because they want to share the love. It's medicine, but God bless you, Brian. You take care of yourself. Kirk in the house from New Orleans. I've been there, and I had a good time in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. I spent 4 days there when I was living in San Francisco. And what they say about New Orleans is the food is so fabulous that you're eating fabulous food and talking about where you're going to go next to eat more fabulous food. The fabulous food was just super incredible. I've lived and traveled throughout the United States and other parts of the world, but the food in New Orleans will knock your socks off if you have not experienced it yet. Oh, Char, but be cool about talking to Tooth Fairy, because once you get her on the phone, it's going to be 6 hours. And we have the one, the only William Mustache Stone Man. Buenos dias, mis compadres, packing for Ajijic. Right on, dude. Rudy's in the house. Ola Bill back to the States for 2 days already. Can't wait to get back. That's funny. He hadn't left. I'm telling you, man, once I can't imagine going to the United States because there's just so much peace here. And people don't know what I am down here. I was in a taxi this week. The taxi drivers, I'm going to say 98% of the time when I'm in a taxi, they say, and this is all in Spanish. Oh, where are you from? And I've learned to say the United States because it's kind of rude to assume that Mexicans know where Ohio is. That's kind of rude. So I say, oh, I'm from the United States. I'm from Estados Unidos. Okay, so that's where I'm from. But many Mexicans think I'm from Jamaica. Okay, a lot of Mexicans think I'm Cuban. But it's really nice to be somewhere, first of all, where nobody knows what I am. They don't know who I am. When I'm walking around, I always look poor. So nobody wants anything. Usually nobody's asking me for money. But it's just so peaceful down here. People are so helpful and loving. I'm going to get right down to talking about the trip I took this week here in a second. We're going to get right down to it. Okay. How are car rental rates in Guadalajara or Mexico in general? I heard it was unusually expensive. Okay. Stefan, very good question. When I was living in Mazatlan, right around the corner from where I lived, there was a car rental place. It wasn't Hertz. It wasn't Avis, but it was something like that. I can't remember. Maybe the name will slip to my mind. You guys have heard of the place. It was an American company, and it was a little small car rental shop. The people there were all dressed very nicely, young people that were facilitating the car rental thingy. And that's when I was going to move down here over here to Morelia. And so I went in and I said, well, if I rent a car, first of all, an SUV was going to cost me about $123 a day. Okay. It was because when I was in the business world and lived in the United States, I traveled all over the United States all the time. And renting cars was just like, I mean, you get on a plane, go somewhere, rental car, so I knew all the good rates, get a good car for $30 a day, $40 a day. Sometimes you get a bonus car for like $20 a day, something like that. But to rent a car in Mazatlan, it was like $123. And I was thinking about renting an SUV and driving here with all my stuff from Mazatlan to Morelia, which is, I don't know, maybe an 8-hour drive. And I said, well, how much would that be? Well, they were going to charge me $123 a day, plus they were going to charge me a 10,000 peso drop-off fee. Okay, what's 10? That's like $500. So $123 a day plus $500 to drop the car off here because it was a one-way trip. So yes, rental cars, as far as I know, are expensive in Mexico. I can't really see doing it. I would prefer to just go steal a car. So if you come down here, if you know how to steal a car, just steal the car, use it a couple of days, and then drop it off at a park somewhere. That's what I'm going to do. The buck stops here. New Orleans is great between January and March. I love the food and drinks. The beignets. Those little donuts or whatever you want to call. They're fabulous. You can just eat them and get fat. And the golden statue, Joan Arc. Otherwise, it is way too hot for me. I totally agree with you. You look Cuban, Bill. Very handsome. Well, thank you, girl. Thank you, Lisa Holmes. Hey, you talking the way I like to hear the women talk. Ha ha. Brian Miller, $1 rent-a-car. Okay, Char. Bill, do you still have a valid U.S. driver's license, or did you let it go? Char, I let my U.S. driver's license go. I had, when I got here, what did I have when I got here? I think I had an Ohio. No, I either had an Ohio driver's license or it was a California, I forget. But I'd let it go. Now I have a Mexican driver's license, and I've done a video on how to get your Mexico driver's license. I've had it. I've renewed it. I don't know if I'm going to renew it again because I don't plan on driving. I don't plan on driving anymore down here. And this week I've taken several taxis, I take taxi to the bus station, take the taxi home. And so I got back from a trip on Thursday, and there's a taxi driver, and his name is Jose. I can't imagine that being in Mexico, and you have a driver named Jose. Can you imagine that? But this was the second time that I had been I had been driving. It was the second time he picked me up. And he is from Morelia, lived in the United States for 20 years as a cook in Houston, Texas, got deported. I tell you what, man, you start talking to Mexicans, you're going to talk to a lot of Mexicans that have lived in the United States for many years working, and then at some point they get deported. And Jose is one of these guys. So he got deported, and he was a cook in Houston, but we were talking about buying cars because there are so many brand new cars on the street down here. On my street, in my neighborhood, BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, brand new. But anyway, I said, well, how do people buy cars down here? Do they pay cash for the cars? And he said, no, you can get a payment plan. And then we're driving down the freeway, if that's what you want to call it, here in Morelia, going back to my place. And he pointed to some cars and he says, well, that car over there, you can buy that. It's going to cost you like $300 a month. And you're going to have like 72 monthly payments. So you can get like a 6-year financing on cars. You can't do that when you buy a house, but you can buy cars down here and get financing. But I don't plan on driving too much. So I think I'm going to let my Mexico driver's license expire. Brian Miller, what's up with the what's up with the coat, Wild Bill? Well, I'll tell you what's up with the coat. Right now, it's 58 degrees here, and I've got all my windows open so the air is nice and fresh. And I have on 3 pairs of socks. I got on some very warmy clothes. I got on some serious sweatpants on, but it's going to be a high of 74 here today. So it's like when I make my trips, okay, like Tuesday and Thursday, I made trips this week on the bus. And for my Thursday trip, I took 3 hoodies with me because at that time in the morning, it's like 54 degrees. But by the time I was on the bus coming back around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I had to take off all of my hoodies down to just a shirt. And the shirt was too hot. I almost had to take off the shirt and just go down to the undershirt. So living in Morelia is very much like living in San Francisco. And I've lived in San Francisco for 5 years. And you have to be prepared to dress for like 3 different climates in one day. And that's the way it is here right now in Morelia. Marco, Bill, are you planning on visiting Pátzcuaro or any other locations for Dia de los Muertos festivities? Marco, I'm going to say no. Bah, humbug. There's going to be a lot of people. I've done Dia de los Muertos in Mazatlan. It was fabulous. Went to the parade, painted my face, drank a lot of tequila, danced a lot, listened to some fabulous music. But going to Pátzcuaro, and before we move along here, let's share with people where Pátzcuaro is. In fact, I was just there too. I was in Pátzcuaro 2 days ago. But let's share with people where Pátzcuaro is for those people that do not know. Now, okay, there you can see Morelia at the top of the map. And this week, 2 times, I went to Santa Clara del Cobre, which is the city of copper. And it took like an hour and a half to get there, but just a little bit north of Santa Clara del Cobre, it's kind of hard to see on the map, but you'll see Pátzcuaro. I wonder if I have a map. Let's see. Okay. Here you go. There's Morelia right there at the top of the map. You go down to the bottom. There's Pátzcuaro. And they say that Pátzcuaro is a hot spot for Dia de los Muertos. And I was there. I was in Pátzcuaro twice this week. It's about a 1-hour bus ride. We'll talk about that very soon. But I'll just I'll be here at the crib. I did it once, and that's enough for me. Okay, Lenora Wilson, I hear they're planning to make driver's license for a lifetime in Mexico. Cool. Meaning you only have to get it one time and you never have to renew it. I'm up for that. I hope if that happens, I'll go and get one. Why not? I figured that on the crowd stuff. Yeah, Marco, there's going to be a lot of people A lot of people out. It's almost like in the United States, they have 4th of July fireworks. I mean, I don't care how fabulous fireworks are. Once you've seen one fabulous fireworks presentation with 18 million people, and you had to park your car 6 hours away and walk, and 6 hours to get to your car. It's only a block away, 6 hours back, and you got 18 million people. I'm once I do it one time, I'm done. No more Dia de Muertos for me. I think I'll just sit here at the crib, put on some cable TV, and I'll watch 6 episodes of 2.5 Men eating tacos and drinking some Modelo Especial. I think that's what I'll do instead. Clay, howdy. Clay just emailed me this week, had some questions, and I just emailed you back yesterday, Clay, and I hope that that I answered some of your questions in a way that will help you with what you're trying to do. If I'm not mistaken, Clay, he has a very reasonable amount of money a month coming in to live in Mexico. He said he wanted to come down, spend some time down here, but he was reluctant to get long-term hotels. But with the money a month that he's coming down here on, I'm not going to say how much. It's nobody's business but his. But he's coming down with the amount of money per month he's coming in with is just a little bit below the minimum requirements of the Mexican government. I mean, it's just a little bit. So, Clay, I believe I sent you Rosie's contact information. You want to talk to her and see if you can get on that. I made videos about it. It's where you let your 180-day visa expire, and then you can get a 4-year visa with no money. You don't have to show them any bank statements. People are still coming in through that program, and if anyone can remember the name of that program, I forget the name of it. Whatever. All right, now. Tooth Fairy, hey, Brian, I'm sorry to hear that you had an emergency. I hope you're feeling, we have to have that dance. Yeah, see, Brian, everybody is here for you, dude. And for you guys that are new here, we're a family here. We take care of each other. If I can't answer questions, other people know the answer. Oh, good. I've started talking with her. Rosie is a wealth of information. I interviewed Rosie. We have 3 videos up from Rosie. If you go to, let's see here. What am I doing? What's my name? I'm forgetting. I'm having brain spasms here. I know. Let's go here. Oh, here you go. If you go to buildgeek.org/FAQs, you'll find Rosie's contact information. She does immigration. She can help you find an apartment in Morelia very affordably. She does translation services, and she's very informed about healthcare in Mexico. So good for you. Contact her. And that's all I have to say about that for right now. And let's see what's happening back over here. And thank you, Dominique. Clay, it's called the regularization program. The regularization program. And the regularization program, I know that Verlaine, who comes in here almost every Saturday, she got it in La Paz, Mexico. And she came down to Mexico for 1 week. let her 1-week tour visa expire. And then she had a good immigration attorney that helped her get a 4-year visa showing like no financial pace, no financials pretty much at all. Buck stops here. That's my favorite beer, Modelo Especial, made in Mexico. It is also #1 beer on the U.S. stock market. It has a very bold taste. And I tell you what, Buck, it just so happens that I got a 12-pack of Modelo Especial in that refrigerator right back there. And I had to put a lock on my refrigerator because Holly over there, Holly right back here, where is she? Holly right there, after she'd been out doing her fentanyl all night and partying, and she tried to get in my refrigerator and drink my Modelo Especial. Look at her. She can't hardly move right now. That's the effects of fentanyl and Modelo Especial. I'm going to lock her. I'm going to chain her up. That's right. Hola, Dominique. Mucho gusto ayer. Oh, they got together yesterday. Very good. Liston Henry. Hola, Liston Henry. I think that he is my new neighbor here in Morelia. Welcome, Liston. Jamie in Canada, moving to Montreal. And Ken Art is in the house. Hola, Bill. I've been sleeping in. And Ken Art, thank you. Thank y'all. You've been sleeping in. I've been wondering where you were, Ken Art. Thank you very much for contributing to the channel. Love you, dude. This is how I pay my rent. This is how I travel. And I got a lot of video clips to share with you, but this is the joy of my life, making these videos, going live, being with you guys on Saturdays. And Ken Art, I'm glad you don't sleep in no more, dude. Come on down. Yeah, come on every Saturday. Thank you so much. John L., love your show. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Buenos dias, ditto. Buck stops, laughing. Marco, what's Marco talking about? Buck, try the Modelo Micheladas. My wife loves those flavors. Micheladas, it's a tequila drink with a lot of fruit, juices in it with fruit also. And a lot of times when you're driving on some of the back roads through the beautiful mountains, they'll have Michelada stands that open at 7:00 in the morning, and they give you these drinks, and they put them in like sandwich bags, like these bags, and they put the drink in the bag, and so you hold the bag, and it's a plastic bag filled with an alcoholic beverage, and you drink one of those, and you will get effed up. Brian Miller, we're headed to San Antonio, Texaco in 15 minutes to the largest Dia de los Muertos celebration in the USA. We go yearly and enjoy San Antonio immensely. I've been there one time. Have a great weekend. Everyone, you too. Brian, Clay, can you talk a little more about hotels, motels? What's the secret to finding a nice place at a nice price? That's a very good question. Hotels and motels. I tell you what, man, if I were you, I've seen your monthly. Let me think about it. Okay. When I travel, here's how I find hotels and motels when I'm traveling in Mexico. I'll go to Google, I'll type in the name of the city, I'll type in hotel motels, and Google is really good about showing a whole bunch of them, and they'll show a bunch of prices, where they're located, all that kind of stuff. When I first came to Morelia a year ago, I found a place that was what was that? It was like 8 blocks from El Centro. It was $27 a night. But okay, so 5 nights, I mean, you're getting up to like $150. So my suggestion is use Airbnb. What you do is you find, okay, I don't want to go real far down into this, but I would forget about hotel motels. I would get an Airbnb. Go to get an Airbnb app on your phone if you don't have it, and find a city. Then start clicking through there and try to find, because all of the Airbnb places have the name of the manager. And so keep clicking through Airbnb until you start to see the manager that shows up at different places. That means that he manages many different Airbnbs. Okay, now Airbnbs. Oh, and then talk to that manager and tell him, hey, I want to stay here for a week. I want to stay here for 2 weeks. And that's how you stay away from the hotel motel stuff. Go with Airbnb, find the owner and say, hey, I want to stay a week, 2 weeks. What can we work out? Do that. Dominique, who is in the house right now, she's been in an Airbnb here in Morelia for almost a month now. And they told her, well, if you want to stay here longer, you can stay here for like $270 a month. She has her own bedroom and bathroom, but I think it's shared. It's a shared environment as far as living room, maybe a little garden or something like that. I found this apartment through the guy that I rented my Airbnb from. And the Airbnb was a little pricey, but this apartment is $450 a month. My Airbnb guy found me this place. Go through Airbnb, screw the hotels and motels, go through Airbnb. That's all I have to say. Marco, say gracias. I will buy that brand of Modelo next time I buy more beer. Right on. Okay, well, I took a little trip this week, and I want to share it with you. Let's go over here. Okay. So we're going to go to Santa Clara del Cobre. And Santa Clara del Cobre is Copper Town. Like Leon is the leather town. Tabasco is the silver town. I went to the Christmas town. And Santa Clara del Cobre is the copper town. Everything copper. And I have 2 stories that happened to me, because you can see there. I'm going to go back to this map, because you can see what I'm going to do to get to Santa Clara de Cobre is I'm going to go down to Pátzcuaro, and then I'm going to get I'm going to say a 15-mile hookup. A 15-mile hookup is going to get me from there, from Pátzcuaro to Santa Clara de Cobre. So, okay. So this is what happened Tuesday. So I'm on the bus, and I can see that I've been to Pátzcuaro many a time, but I'm on the bus, and I can see that we've gone through Pátzcuaro, and the bus isn't stopping. We go like another 15 minutes, and at the very bottom of the map, I mean, I'm out of my red line zone of where Santa Clara de Cobre is, and so I'm sitting in front of the bus, and I asked this lady, I said, hey, are we stopping in Pátzcuaro? She says, no, we've gone by Pátzcuaro, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. And she says, you need to get off the bus now. Get off the bus now. Get off now. And you can go back. You can go back to get to Santa Clara. And so talk to the bus driver and all the 5 people in front of the bus helping me out. Yeah, get out here, get out here. So I get off the bus. And sorry, Dominique, because we talked about this yesterday. Sorry, but okay. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere at this bus stop and cows and horses out in the middle of nowhere, but there's a bus guy there. I mean, he sells bus tickets. He's out there by himself. His name was Raul, and he knew all the bus routes. And it just so happened that Raul had lived in the United States for 16 years. He lived in California, Oregon, and Washington. And he got deported. I tell you, man, you talk to Mexicans down here, and they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, I lived in the United States 10 years, 50, and then I got deported, okay? So okay, now, here's what I did wrong. I got to the internet, and I do this a lot, and I say, well, what's the best way to get from Morelia to Santa Clara del Cobre? And somebody said, well, take the bus to Pátzcuaro and then get a taxi or a combi, which is a van that's like a taxi, but do that, okay? So anyway, so I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking to Raul, who spoke fluent English. And we talked for an hour and a half out there in the middle of nowhere. And he says, no, Bill, you could have taken a bus direct from Morelia to Santa Clara de Cobre. And the people on the internet didn't say that, but there was a direct bus. I could have taken the direct bus to Santa Clara del Cobre. So by the time I got the bus to go back, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just took, after I got to Pátzcuaro, I just went back to Morelia and then did the trip again on on Thursday. And then when I got back Tuesday, I asked the people at the bus line, how early can I leave Morelia direct to Santa Clara, whatever it is, del Cobre? And they said, oh, we have a direct bus. And this is something you want to listen to. Wherever you want to go, you want to talk to the people at the counter and tell them you want a direct bus. Do you have a direct bus? Because a direct bus makes no stops. A direct bus makes no stops. They might make one, but then a regular bus is going to stop here, stop there, adds like a half an hour, 40 minutes to your trip. So what I did learn from Raul said, ask the bus driver. Wherever you're going, have it written down where you're going and show the bus driver, here's where I'm going. Are you going there? Okay? Because things get funky and sometimes things just don't work out the way they're supposed to. So anyway, so I went back and I took the trip again Thursday, and I ended up leaving here. Let's see, where am I? Oh, let me see, where am I in my images? So I went back to Santa Clara de Cobre. I went back Thursday. And this is the church right downtown. And this is my drone shot. And there are two adjoining churches in Santa Clara de Cobre. And I went into the church, but it was a beautiful bus ride. Left at 7 a.m, beautiful mountains all around. Very affordable place. I could live in this town. The people were extremely friendly. They and you can see just houses and houses and houses. And let's take a spin. There were very expensive, giant, brand new houses with brand new Mercedes parked out in front. But in a minute, you're going to see the side streets, the beautiful side streets of Santa Clara de Cobre. And as the name would tell you, lots and lots and lots of copper. And the funny thing is, it is really funny. Let's go in here first. Where is this? Of course, this is Copper Town, but this is right off of the main plaza, and you can see the white walls. And like all towns have their name usually painted in the plaza. Well, this one has a copper name, Santa Clara in copper. Usually that stuff is painted, but they just Santa Clara del Cobre, the sign. And after I shot this video, guys were shining that sign with stuff to make it all sparkly. I might play this video 2 times. Notice over there on the right, you can see the cars all going one direction. I'm going to play that video again. I have a reason for it. If you look to the right, all of the cars on the right are headed in one direction. That's a one-way street. My bus came in on the other side of that plaza, which is a one-way street going the other way. And so the bus dropped me off on the other one-way street, and that was the bus stop at the plaza. And so when I got off the bus at the plaza, I said, well, how do I get back? How do I get back to Pátzcuaro and then back to Morelia? And he said, just go to the other side, which was the one-way street I just showed you. And so I got a bus. That's where I caught the bus. So sometimes you're going to go places and they're not going to have a bus station. They're just going to drop you off somewhere and at a corner. And you have to ask the bus driver, well, how do I get back? The bus driver is going to know. You can always ask the people on the street. And that's why it's so important, if your Spanish is shaky, to write down the name of where you want to go. So even if you're not going to show it to the bus driver, you can show it to somebody on the street. But let's continue here just a little. I have several more clips. I just want to show a couple more before we move ahead. So off of the plaza, there's this big copper pot right there, and you can see how everything is extremely clean. And they painted this town very similar to the way that they painted the entire town of Pátzcuaro, white with red names written above. And in the plaza, it was very peaceful, just a very peaceful plaza. And I just sat out here and watched people. And this is like around 9 o'clock in the morning. It was a very busy little town. People walking around, very friendly. Let me show one more clip. I have lots more clips. This is around 9 o'clock in the morning. Lots of places to eat. And again, I've said it many times. I love seeing many different ages of people. This is all fresh bread. Fresh bread. People are buying it by the sack. Oh, okay. Okay. And right there, that is a combi. That is a combi. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to play that clip again, just so at the end, so you can see the end of the video. Where you see the bread place, you see the bread place, and over on the left, you can see the van. That van right there, you can see the front of that van, and that is where the bus would pick you up. And I asked the van drivers, well, when does the bus for Morelia show up? And he says, oh, right here. This is this. So those van drivers are called combis. Michoacan, which is a state, is known for the combis. They're all over Morelia, but they go to all these little towns throughout Michoacan. I'd never seen combis in Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Mazatlan, no. Ajijic, Chapala, no, never seen them. But in Michoacan, which is a state, they're all over, and they'll take you all over the state. In fact, I took a combi back from Santa Clara del Cobre to Pátzcuaro, and that was like 20 pesos. That's $1 to go 15 miles. And then I got the bus. The bus driver took me to the main bus station, very friendly, took me to the main bus station, and the bus ride from Pátzcuaro to Morelia, which is like 1 hour, an hour and 20 minutes, depending on traffic, with my senior citizens discount card, that cost me $2. $2. That's good. $2. An hour and 40 minutes on the bus for $2. I have more video clips to share with you. But first, let me show you this, the church plaza. And this is the church plaza. Yeah, you walk out of there from the church to the plaza. And look at how clean everything is. There's nothing on the ground. Nothing. Just totally clean. That's another thing I like about Mexico. Mexico, they are some of the cleanest people I've ever seen anywhere. Okay, let's see what's happening now. I got to scroll up here. I got to scroll back. Okay, here we go. Marco. Okay. Anna Stoic. Hola, Anna. Are you new here? If you're new here, and for what it's worth, we have 70 people in the house, and people have clicked the like button like 23 times. Feel free to click the like button. That helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And and Anna, welcome. Ask away. There are no stupid questions. I don't know everything about Mexico, but I tell you what, Marco's in the house and he does. Okay. Dominique, I always do. Dominique, I always do 1 month stays with Airbnb, usually in a shared spaces, so I can get into the city from the locals and fellow travelers. Very good. Okay. And that's a big tip. And Dominique is traveling throughout Mexico. She knows. Finally, I want to learn about my options if I decide to relocate to Mexico. And I tell you what, Dominique is living the life, man. She got an Airbnb, very inexpensive. Stay at this place for a month. Stay at this place for a month. And even Clay's talking about, well, okay, I want to come and travel around. Should I get hotels or whatever? Come down, get a place. I'm paying $450 a month. I mean, I'm super happy here. Very clean, very affordable. I'm like a 8-minute taxi drive from El Centro. I mean, make a place where you can call your home that is inexpensive, and then travel around, go somewhere for a few days, a week, get a feel for things. And Marco, thank you so much, Marco, for contributing to the channel, helping me pay my rent. And I got to tell everybody, Marco, whose parents are from Morelia, they went to Chicago, and now Marco has like some rocket scientist job at the airport there. He's very high up, getting ready to retire, thinking of returning to Morelia. But Marco gave me a big list of places for me to visit in the Morelia area. So not only is he contributing to the channel financially, he gave me a wealth of information, very intelligent individual. And I thank you, Marco, very much for your donation and helping me pay my rent in October, but for all the tips you've given me on where I can visit future trips in Mexico. Really, buenos dias, everyone. I hope I didn't miss much. And if you're new here, introduce yourself and let us know you're here. Woo, Dominique, also, there is usually a significant discount for 1 month stays through Airbnb. You can often negotiate longer term stays directly with the hosts for even less money beyond that. Dominique is a trip, because I've only met her in person 2 times for breakfast, and she is a wealth of information, traveled the world. It's super intelligent, and she's so intelligent you never know what's going to come out of her mouth. But just a wealth of information. Okay, thank you for that info, Stephen, Nathan, Bill, and your travels. Can you please keep an ear out for some blues? Oh, and or Latin rock spots. They're all over, Stefan. They're all over, but I will keep my ears open. Yes, I will. I will do that. Okay, now, Stefan, Morelia has music festivals and venues for all of that. Yes, they do. Clay, look how beautiful. It's beautiful. Mexico's freaking beautiful. I love Mexico. In Ohio, everything's flat. Most of the time, they have their spots that get hilly, okay? But nothing like these beautiful giant mountains and rock formations. And I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about Dominique too much. But we were finishing breakfast yesterday. She was going her way. I'm going my way. And I just took a breath like that. And the air is so fresh. And I told Dominic, I says, wow, this air is so fresh. I've never lived anywhere in my life where breathing in the air is like snorting cocaine. Okay. I mean, you ever do that big line of cocaine? You go, woo, daddy, woo, that was worth my $100. Okay, well, that's the way the air is down here in Morelia, not in Guadalajara. No, not in Guadalajara, but in Morelia, the air is just so fresh. You're just thankful all the time. Okay, we got look who's here. Took a movie break. Axel Foley in the house. Hola, Axel. We're great. Always Axel has been visiting our lives for like 3 years. He's a regular. And Autumn Green, like Axel. Great to see you in the house, Autumn. Axel Foley says, Bill, I'm looking forward to your show. I'm looking at your show on my smart TV for the first time. I don't know the brand of equipment you're using to broadcast, but the quality on my end is awesome. Well, Axel, we knew you were going to be here today, so we had to get all of our special equipment out. Holly back here, Holly back there, she put on some, as she's stopped snorting the fentanyl and stopped drinking the beer out of the fridge. She put on a new scarf knowing that Axel Foley was going to be in the house. And Marco is trying to update us on the money. It's at 1998 today. And for those of you that don't know, let's talk about the 20. Let's talk about where he says the 20 MXN. The 20 MXN. The 20 stands for pesos. And that's how many pesos is a dollar worth. So yesterday, it was 20 pesos was worth $1. And actually yesterday, Thursday, it went to 20.05. And so the value of the peso over the last month and a half has been dropping drastically. And that 20 or even the 1998 for expats living on dollars, or even for Canadians living on Canadian dollars, this makes your rent, all your food prices, buying beer, if you're out buying cocaine and marijuana on the street, all those, even if you're paying for hookers out on the street, all those prices go down. And I'm going to say about 2 weeks ago, the peso was up a little bit. The value was up a little bit. So my rent was at about $467 a month. Now my rent is at $45 a month. And if you look at that 20 or 19.98 figure, that takes the value of the peso back to where it was almost 2 or 3 years ago. And all I can say is, holy Jesus, amen, amen. When the saints come marching in, when the peso value hits 20, that means my life is easy. Yeah, my life is really good. Thank you, Marco, for that update. Bill, you are so blessed in life to be able to do what you are doing. I love these travel videos. That is why I'm still watching your channel for close to 2.5 years. Love you, brother. And Brian's been with us here every Saturday for like 1 million years. Ooh, when I knew Brian, he didn't have no. When Brian first started showing up on the channel, his beard was black. And he had black hair, never wore a hat. He had all his hair, only weighed like 170 pounds. But he's been here, and thank you, Brian. I love making these videos. I love sharing the joys of living in Mexico. That's what we do. Thank you, Brian. Diane, recently I took my SUVs to Nogales, Sonora, Mexico for various work on the cars. Both my vehicles are in outstanding condition. It cost $2,000 to rebuild a damaged grill. Dennis, is that in dollars or is that in pesos? And I had a car for 12 years down here, and getting your car repaired down here, the prices are ridiculously low. You come down here and you get your car worked on, get it all fixed up. And when they tell you how much it costs, if you have the right auto mechanic that is not ripping you off, but if you have the regular, I'm going to say 95% of Mexican mechanics are fabulous. They do fabulous work. They are super duper affordable. It's crazy. They'll give you the bill and you will laugh. Tooth Fairy, you are correct. Bill, Mexicans are some of the cleanest people I know. Right on. And Brian Maiden, thank you so much, my man, Brian Pretty Boy Maiden, for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much for Holly's and your travel fund and help for Holly. Yeah. I got to find a rehab program for Holly, but thank you very much. We got thank yous going on here. Tooth Fairy. That town is fabulous, Billy. Thanks for all you do. I really had a fabulous time talking to Dominique, and she was like, "Wow, so where are you going next? How much time do you spend doing this?" And I'm really trying to plan for the future. This week, I'm going somewhere on Tuesday. I might take 2 trips this week. I got a couple of videos planned. But I was telling Dominique, I don't want to travel so much that I don't like to do it anymore. But I'm planning for the future on how to grow the channel. But I gotta say, most of the places that Marco told me about, like Pátzcuaro, Zinzanzun, or Zinzunzan, Santa Clara de Cobre, places like Leon, Guanajuato. I'd never seen those places. I'd never heard of Morelia until about a year and a half ago. I've been here. By then, I'd lived here like 17 years. I'd never heard of Morelia 17 years, 3 years ago. To a year and a half ago, I'd never heard of Morelia. I came here to visit. I fell in love with it. I've traveled Mexico. I fall in love with Mexico is fabulous. It's fabulous all over the country. And it's I'm going to say 95% of Mexico, the people are extremely clean and friendly, and the streets are clean, and everywhere is affordable with fresh air and mountains. I love it here, and I love making videos about it. It's fun. I love it. Okay, now, Axel Foley, Bill, I see you have a jacket on today. Yeah, okay, right now it's probably about 60 degrees. When I started the broadcast, it was specifically 58 degrees. When I got up at 5:30 this morning, it was probably around 54 degrees. But what time is it now? It's okay, in another hour, it'll be 74 degrees. Tooth Fairy, wow. One of the joys of living in Morelia, the air is to die for. I love me some Holly. Holly, if Holly wasn't high on fentanyl and all drunk the way she is now, she would talk to you and wave and everything, but she's high drunk. She don't know what's going on. Verlaine in the house. Good morning, Verlaine. And Clay. Verlaine is the woman that I was talking about who used the regularization program, got in here, got a 1-week travel visa, and let it expire. Then she used that through the regularization program to get a 4-year visa. And Verlaine doesn't know the name of the immigration attorney that got it for her. Verlaine, if you could find the name of that immigration attorney, I could make you so much money, because all these people that can't get in with the financial requirements now, they all want to know about that person. And you could sell that person's name all throughout my channel and make you a lot of cash. Well, no hookers or cocaine, but I look forward to snorting that fresh air. I hear you, man. I'm just having fun. Just having fun. Chris, good morning. And that's a friend of Marco's, I believe, in Chicago. Good morning. Thanks for the inspiration. You are very welcome. Chris, friend of Marco's, I believe. Ray Garcia, I love Central Mexico. So many nice cities to visit nearby. I can travel there from North Chihuahua, round trip for a week for 3 different places for about 800. You have to tell me, is that pesos or is that dollars? And for those of you that don't know, I didn't know this when I came to Mexico, but Chihuahua is actually the name of a state in Mexico. And I remember seeing Chihuahuas on TV in the United States. I knew maybe in my lifetime, I knew maybe 2 or 3 people that had the dogs Chihuahuas, but in Mexico, Chihuahuas, the dog, are everywhere. Every Mexican has a Chihuahua. They're everywhere. The people across the street, they have a Chihuahua. It's about this big. It's full grown. I mean, that is the smallest dog I've ever seen in my life. My opinion is, if you're going to have a dog, have a dog. Get like a German Shepherd. Get a one of them big blonde Labrador. Get a dog that you can see. Who wants a little sissy dog? Yeah, I get a hamster. If you want a little sissy dog, get a hamster. Keep it in a cage. Then you don't have to walk it, feed it. You can feed it. You don't even have to feed a hamster. And if you don't feed it and it die, you go spend another $2 to get a new hamster. But Chihuahua, whatever. But I'm a dog bigot. Oh, Marco, morning, buddy. Hey, I told you they were friends. Cassie Davis in the house. Good morning, Bill. You are the OG, the old guy. Does that mean the old guy? I don't know what OG means. I also follow a USA expat living in the state of Michoacan, Pátzcuaro. She visits the small villas within an hour to a half hour from Morelia, fresh air. And Cassie, thank you for contributing to the channel. Okay, listen to this. Okay, now. Oh, okay. So thank Cassie Davis. Thank you. Cassie Davis, thank you so much for contributing to the channel, helping me pay my rent and all of that. Thank you so much. Okay, now I stopped talking so you guys could hear that voice going by. And for those of you that show up at 9 o'clock, you could hear the tamale guy. Tamales. Okay. Well, this other truck, They're coming by. It's a truck. It's a pickup truck. And they're saying refrigerators, stoves, washer dryers, mattresses. And they are buying your old refrigerators, your old washers, your old dryers, your old mattresses. And they come by like twice a day. But I live in a wealthy neighborhood. I mean, it's not a super duper, it's not like a Beverly Hills neighborhood, but the people in my neighborhood have money. Not me. You know, I ain't got money like my neighbors got. But, but this truck comes by twice a day. So if you got an old refrigerator, old washer dryer, appliances like that, I don't know if they pay you for it or they'll just take it away. Then they'll refurbish it, get it fixed up, and sell it. Very common. Who else comes by? This one lady comes by. You hear her saying, elote. And Marco, tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Elote. That's corn. So she has this corn, it's a corn, and she puts stuff in a cup and sell it to you like that. That's about the three people that come by making noise. Marco, hey Chris, what's up, buddy? Fell asleep listening to you guys last night. Okay, they're buddies in Chicago. Repair a grill and fender. Okay, 12,000 in the United States, 2,000 in Mexico. The repair prices in Mexico are crazy. Santa Clara de Cobre. I haven't shown you the amazing stuff yet. Because I haven't showed you any copper. And I'm putting up the Santa Clara del Cobre video tomorrow, and you're going to see a lot of copper. Okay, painting my Suburban, 1,000 in Mexico, 3,000 in the United States. The prices are crazy. Yes, high for the week, October 23rd at 20.07. The low was 19.76, leveling off on Friday with an all-time high around 24.03. And hey, if it hits 24.03, that means my rent's going to go down to like $395 a month. And Char Williams donating to the channel. Thank you, girlfriend. I've talked with Char on the phone. And in fact, we had a go-to meeting conference. But thank you so much. And Char has talked with Tooth Fairy. And me and Dominique were talking about Char yesterday for breakfast. Oh, yeah, I know Char from this group. And she's in this group over here also. This is funny. But Char, thank you so much for sharing the love with us on this Saturday morning. Thank you so much. And even Axel Foley is sharing the love, donating to the channel. Don't know what the first part of my Saturday would look like without Billy the Kid Show. Keep up the good work, my brother. Thank you, Axel Foley, for contributing. OG, original gangster. I didn't know what it meant. Right on. Yeah, that's me, man. Yeah, these teeth are fake. I put on these white teeth because I don't want to show you all my gold teeth with the diamonds in it. Then you think I have a lot of money. Then you don't. If I showed you my gold teeth with all the diamond studs up and down, sparkly, they're too bright. Sun come in, they sparkle. The camera can't pick up the image. And then you guys think I have all this money. Nobody want to give me any money on Saturdays. Yeah, I gotta keep it low. Keep it low. Old gangster. And Rudy is showing his age by not original gangster, but old gangster. Oh, yeah. And, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Show us your grilled, Bill. What? That was a tamale guy again. Tamale guy is back. He was just here an hour and 20 minutes ago, but it's Saturday. Axel Foley, you are so right. Everything and everybody has to wait. Oh, you guys are funny. You guys are hilarious. Okay, so I do have some more images. Here we go. Pigeons. Okay. Okay, now okay, so everywhere I go, of course, and this is where I put the drone up. These are two churches. They're connected. On the left-hand side of this image, you see the steeple. There's a rope going up to that bell, and that's how they ring the bell for the church. That's one of the churches, and I put the drone up right in front of the church, but here is the other church, and all of the pueblos, the small towns, the big towns, they always have these giant cathedrals put up by the Spanish. They put them up like the Spanish put up churches like they were 7-Elevens or Oxos. And then you go inside the church, always with a very similar entrance, beautiful wooden door settings, wooden pews, and they have a special decoration here. The lady at the church told me it's because of the Dia de los Muertos. I don't know if I understood her correctly, but wherever you go in Mexico, you have the church that is right next to the plaza. And before I took that shot, I'm going to say I took that shot like around 11 o'clock, maybe 11:30 in the morning. But the first time I went into the church, they were having a funeral in there, and out in front, this band was playing, and the music was good. You got your tuba, your clarinets, got your drums, and the music was really good, kind of funky. But I can't play the audio because I think the music they were playing is copyrighted. But whenever you go anywhere in Mexico, you have to go into the cathedral because you never know what it's going to be like. And here, let's walk down some of the sidewalks. And again, please note that you don't see even like a chew gum, a gum chew, what do they call it? Chewing gum. You don't even see a chewing gum wrapper on the street. You don't see a piece of paper on the street. You don't see a cigarette butt on the street. And this population is about 38 to 39,000. Some of these places are closed because I was there kind of early. But the later the day went on, more and more of these shops started to open. And I bet you could find a nice apartment here, fully furnished, for about $350 a month. I bet you. And this place right here, her shop, this was in one of those, it was along that street, and she sells these chickens. And I asked her, how much do the chickens cost? She says 130 pesos. That's like $7, $6.50. I wonder what people do with the chickens. She was very nice to me. But you can just see about 40,000 people living in this town, beautiful place in the mountains, the air here, and all these people, you know, but I don't see them very often, but and you're in this place where the people just look so happy. They're eating food and playing music. Sure, funerals are going on, but I mean, I'm gonna show you something that they need in every town. Every town needs these. Here you go. Yep. Yeah, you can buy these here. And I've seen some of these places, but I never ask them how much these things cost. Okay. Next time, now I can remember. A lot of times I just forget basic stuff because I know somebody's saying, well, how much they charge for those? Or how much they cost? Are they cheap? Okay. So as the day goes on, then more stuff starts opening. And okay, yeah, we're in a copper town. Let's see some copper. Here you go. De Cobre. Cobre means copper. And the shops start opening. And there you go. Big pots, big pans, cups, pitchers, plates, all of it copper. And this town is all about copper, copper, and more copper. Looky there. Copper, copper. Look at that. I could use 3 or 4 of those. Yeah, you know. Then they start decorating the copper. You know, and the streets, it's just copper, de Cobre, Santa Clara, de Cobre. And look at the dark copper. They have a lot of dark copper. And here's some more copper. The streets are just filled with copper. You're driving into town, they got copper. And here's a La Katrina we're walking by. Here you go, La Katrina. Oh, yeah, there you go. They're ready for Dia de los Muertos and more copper and just shops and shops and shops filled with copper. Ooh, it just wears me out thinking about the trip that I took. But I only have one more click of De Cobre. But this place is just very clean with shops. And after all that walking, sure, you want some meat and some weenies, maybe some flowers after you bought some funeral stuff. But these are just a few of the clips. I've got like 20 more clips to put together. But notice the clean streets going up the hill. And I saw some really expensive, brand new, like 3 stories houses with a brand new Mercedes parked in the front. And sometimes I forget that I have my special glasses on. And maybe some of you don't know about my special glasses. I'll show you right here. And with my special glasses, all I got to do is click this button right here and I'm shooting video. And sometimes when I see stuff, I forget that, oh, these people don't know I'm videoing their Mercedes and their really nice house. Because if I'm using my camera, I'm in a strange town. I'm in front of your house and I got my camera. I'm taking videos of your brand new Mercedes and your brand new 3 stories house. And I'm out there shooting pictures and stuff. I think that's a no-no, right? But if I got on my OG original gangsta secret video glasses, all I do is point, hit this button right here, and I'm videoing you, and you can come out and talk to me and say hello and all that. You come out with your hot wife and your daughter, and I got my video glasses, doing my thing. Yeah. Chew, yeah. Yeah, I tell you what. And if you drive in Mexico and you white, you need some of these glasses for when the police pull you over and ask you for bribe money. Yes, everybody that drives in Mexico, if you white and old and you're Canadian or from the United States, you need some of these glasses so you can hit the button and record the whole thing. And after you give the cop your bribe money, you just take your glasses right on down to the police station and help that man lose his job. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's get back to chat, see what's going on here. Woo! Cassie Davis, original gangster showing respect to someone who has put in time and earned their stripes. Thank you so much. Davis in the house. How easy was it to renew your driver's license? I have to do it soon. Let me think about that. It was pretty easy. Let me think about this. I first got my driver's license. I got my first driver's license in Nuevo Vallarta, which is in the state of Nayarit. And I was living in Puerto Vallarta. So to get my first driver's license, my immigration attorney, she knew some people in Nayarit. So, and these guys were thugs pretty much. They put me in a car. We drove about 45 minutes into Nayarit, a different state than Jalisco, where Puerto Vallarta is. And I gave these guys some money. They took my picture and they gave me a driver's license at the Department of Motor Vehicles. I mean, that's how I got my first driver's license. Okay. So to get that renewed, I got it renewed. Where I get it renewed? Jalisco. I got it renewed in Guadalajara. So I forget how it went, but for some reason I had to take a test, which I didn't think was going to happen. But the test was real easy. It was like 15 questions. You do it through the computer to renew your license. And they showed a picture of like a country road, and there were a bunch of cows going in over the road. And the question was like, what do you do if this happens? If you see a bunch of cows in front of you on a country road, what do you do? So the question was multiple choice, stop or go. Question. Almost all 15 questions were like that. And I got it renewed in Guadalajara. Let me think. And they gave me an interpreter because all of the questions were in Spanish. So they had an interpreter who would tell me all the questions in English. And I think I missed one answer. Then the third time I got it renewed in Chapala. And we had to get an appointment. You had to get an appointment. And then you just showed them your passport, your old license. It was so the process for renewing your license is pretty simple. But what I'm going to say, if your Spanish is not that good and you're not a Mexican, you're not familiar with Mexican laws, I would get a facilitator or a Mexican attorney or anybody that has gone, any Mexican that has gone through the process before that is bilingual. And I would have them go with you. That's my advice there, Davis. Axel Foley, Bill, Mexico is a Catholic country. Our businesses close on Sunday, except for restaurants and bars, in smaller towns where there are no tourists. Well, no, most, I'm going to say Sunday is a big business for almost all businesses in Mexico. if you're a copper town, all the copper places are open on Sunday. If they're selling copper on Saturday, they're selling copper on Sunday. When I was in Mazatlan, some of the biggest tiendas, and when I say some of the biggest ones, which were about as big as my apartment, they might be closed. But everything else, like you say, bars, restaurants, everything is pretty much open on Sundays. I'm going to say 80% of what is open on Saturday is open on Sunday. Michael Flatt, my man. Look at Michael Flatt. Michael Flatt was my landlord in Puerto Vallarta for 5 years. We're like brother, sister. I mean, he's Michael. Good. God bless you, my man. I call you something else nasty, but I can't say real evil words on my YouTube channel. But love you, brother. I mean, me and Michael Flatt. Oh, he knows stuff about me. He's seen stuff coming in and out of my apartment. I see Michael Flatt every day. He's a fabulous individual. I can't believe that you are in the house. Love you, man. I know you do not have a Trump t-shirt on. And if that is a Trump t-shirt, I'm sure whatever those words are below the Trump is something really bad. Lenora Wilson, Bill, are those the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses? No, I don't think they are. These glasses, the company is called OH, I think. And the problem with these glasses is they don't have a stabilizer. So they kind of I'm going to say in 3 or 4 months, these only cost like, and Char Williams turned me on to these. They only cost like $52, but in 3 or 4 months, I'm going to invest $300 or $400 to get ones with stabilizer and better resolution. Love you too, man. Miss you too, Michael Flatt. I mean, he is like my brother. Oh, I rented from him. And he refurbished a house in the ghetto in Puerto Vallarta. The neighborhood is called Cinco de Diciembre. And he refurbished this place that looked like the Marriott Hotel. And my apartment was above where he lived. His house looked like the Super Marriott Hotel. Marble floors, big giant counter down through the middle of the kitchen area, and then all dishwasher, big marble walls. Then you walk back through the apartment, like 3 bedrooms, right in front of the bedrooms, nice little swimming pool. I was on the 2nd floor in my fabulous apartment. Then on the 3rd floor, this fabulous deck overlooking Puerto Vallarta. He refurbished that whole place. Then he went through a little something and built a house between Guadalajara and Tequila on a farm. I lived there for 2 months. It was fabulous also. Michael Flatt knows how to live. I hope you're doing well, my brother. I get the impression it's all about the deal. There you go. The deal in Mexico. When you're out on the street visiting shops, is it expected to bargain with the salesperson? Not really, Clay. Okay, like I bought this hoodie. I just bought this hoodie like 10 days ago. And the guy told me it was going to be like 220 pesos. I got 2 of them. So that meant it was like 440 pesos, which is like $21. So instead of 1, I got 2. So, and it should have been 440 pesos. So I told the guy, okay, I'll give you 400 pesos. And he said, okay. But I got a pair of sweatpants too. So sometimes I'm going to say usually I don't bargain. I don't ask. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to. There are times when I know that they're giving me the gringo price. If you know that you're getting the gringo price, just walk away, or so, off. If you know they're offering you the gringo price, then just offer them a lower price. If they don't take it, walk away. But generally, day to day, like when you go shopping for like fruit and vegetables or meat, getting a carton of milk, stuff like that, then the prices are pretty much what you see. So, but if you're shopping for a copper part, a copper pot in Santa Clara de Cobre, well, yeah, then I tell you what. Also, when I went to the market, let me say this. When I went to the market last week, when I bought my sweatpants, hold on a second. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, when I went to this place, Mercado Independencia, it's a huge market. That's where I got my my sweatpants, my hoodies. They have all kinds of food in there. You can get boots in there, all kinds of stuff. And in some of the places, come on, man. Come in. Oh, I don't have. Well, okay. Okay. And if you go into a place like this and you don't see any prices on anything, I think that means, well, everything's negotiable. Because a lot of these places, they had prices on everything. But in this place, they have no prices. And the place where I bought my sweatpants, they had no prices on the sweatpants. And the guy said, well, the sweatpants are going to cost 200 pesos, which is like $10. And I said, no, but I liked them, so I paid him 200 pesos. But I think I should have been able to get so do you have to negotiate all the time? It's up to you. You have to look the people in the eye and see if theft is in their eyes. Okay. Love you too, Michael Flat. Okay. If you wear prescription glasses, can you have your prescription put into your smart glasses? In most cases, the company will install it for you. Just send them your prescription. When I get off the air today, I'm going to go to the market. I will go past 4 optical shops, and you can get stuff done to your glasses here. If you have the prescription, everything you can done here in the United States, you can get done here. Tooth Fairy. Okay, so you got that. Lenora, you can also get blue light in the smart glasses, as well as transition to change to sunglasses in the sunlight. I have those also. Okay, I thought they were very religious because everywhere you turn there is a church. And now that's kind of a myth, because yes, some Mexicans are very Catholic, and you'll see if you just go sit in front of a Catholic church for 5 minutes, you'll see that some people actually do the cross thing. They'll just look at the church, do the cross thing like that. But a lot of Mexicans may have been born Catholic, but they never go to church. They never read the Bible. They've never read the Bible. Some of these people, they have Jewish people down here, Hare Krishnas, Buddhists. They got Satan worshipers down here. So, though, yes, there are a lot of Catholics down here, but a lot of Mexicans are not religious at all. But true, when I went to Mercado 28 in Cancun Central in January, I experienced gringo pricing. However, the native mamacitas, the Haitians and the Cubans offered me the best prices. Right on, Axel Foley. Frank, hola Bill, Frank de Hollywood, California. ¿Cómo está Morelia esta mañana? He's saying, how is Morelia this morning? Morelia is fabulous every day. I love Morelia. I've been so blessed. Tooth Fairy lives here. And Dominique, she's been here a month. And I think the first thing I asked her when we sat down to eat breakfast yesterday, I said, well, how you doing? I mean, you've been here a month. What have you been doing? And she goes walking through the town. She's met other friends she's getting together with. She's finding like museums, and she was going to a music thing where they were going to have a violin and a flute. I mean, she's been here a month. Who can be in a place for a month that is not really enjoying it? Tooth Fairy loves Morelia. I love Morelia. Morelia is fabulous. Morelia is my first choice on where to live in Mexico as of this minute. Tooth Fairy, they give you the gringo price if they suspect you don't speak Spanish. That's funny. You must at least know the basic language. Most Mexicans won't try to gringo you. I would say about 1%. And I'd say Tooth Fairy's right. You come down, get your basic Spanish down so you can be friendly. And that's another thing. I'm going to go. Where am I going? I'm going to go to the pharmacy. When we shut down today, I'm going to Farmacia, Guadalajara. I'm going to pick up like some Q-tips or something there. I'm going to go to the money machine. Then I'm going to the grocery store. Something in Mexico. It doesn't matter if you're going to 7-Eleven, if you're going to Oxxo, if you're going to go get a Coke at the tienda, if you're going to go buy some tortillas somewhere, if you're going to go somewhere and you're just going to get a carton of milk and a loaf of bread, when you walk up to the counter, and there's a little tienda, that means a little store about the size of my apartment, and they sell all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, it's the only tienda store in the neighborhood for like 8 blocks. It's the only one. Milk, juice, they sell some cheese. They can slice up some ham for you, detergent, Prego sauce or spaghetti sauce, canned corn, all that kind of stuff, and they sell beer, milk, lettuce, potatoes, tomatoes. But when you get something, everybody that goes into that store, when they walk up to the counter, the first thing they say is, hola, buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Or, hi, how you doing? How are you? Hi. Or good day. How you doing? That's the first thing that if they're buying a Coke, that's the first thing they say. Everybody going in there. And then when you leave, you say, thank you. And then the person behind the counter, they say, thank you. And then the person that bought the stuff, they'll say, no, thank you. I'm serious. And then they'll say, oh, okay. Until the next time. Okay. Then they'll say, have a good trip. Like that. It's like to say goodbye when you get out of a taxi. As soon as you get in, unless you're a real hardcore gringo. that has no manners, like you're in New York. You just walk up, you're mean, evil. You look at the person behind the counter, put down the Coke, give them, $1, turn around, walk out. No feelings, nothing going on there. But in Mexico, when you get into the taxi, if you're not a gringo, you say, hola, how's your day going? Or todo bien, is everything good? And then you don't have to say anything else the whole time you're in there unless the guy wants to talk. When you get out of the taxi or when you go to the store and you buy your Coke or whatever, when you're leaving, I tell you what, the goodbye is usually like 5 to 6 goodbyes back and forth. And when you say thank you, once you buy that Coca-Cola, they'll say thank you. And you could say de nada or you're welcome. But even more polite is when somebody says thank you, you tell them, no, thank you, or gracias a ti. They'll say gracias, thank you. And you say to them, gracias a ti, which means no, thank you. And then you pack up your stuff and you say, que te vaya bien, which means have a good trip. And then after that, you might say hasta luego. So you might say thank you and then goodbye. You got to say 4 or 5 things to get out of the store after you buy a Coke. And everybody does it. All the Mexicans do it. You can go into a tienda and you'll see the Mexicans doing it all the time. They're just so polite. It's awesome. Okay, now, Bill, how much does a good Mexican cowboy boots cost? And are they comfortable to wear? I'm going to say they can be very reasonable. I bet, and this is having checked out prices in León, which is the leather capital of Mexico, or just from the Mercado here in Morelia. I'm saying you could probably get a good pair of Mexican boots for about 800 pesos. That would be $40. And I mean a good pair of cowboy boots. But I am going to add to that, I wear size 12 shoes. So most Mexican boot shops are not going to have anything that would fit me, though. In León, they had a lot of people that will make the boots. You give them your measurements, and they will make the boots for you. You might have to come back the next week or 2 weeks later, but they will make the boots for you. I did see a nice pair of boots that I wanted in León, but they were very special. I mean, I want some cowboy boots. Let's do this. I want some cowboy boots. I used to have a pair in Ohio. Oh, let's see how. Okay, so here's the top of the cowboy boot, the part that goes up, and then here's the part that goes down. I just want the cowboy boot part that is just the shoe part. That's all I want. I don't want the part that goes up. And this part here is cut so that it's just like an ankle shot. So it's kind of curved. That's what I want. So I saw some of those in León, but they were going to cost me like $200. And I bet they didn't have anything in my size. But I would say you could get a good pair of cowboy boots if you go to León for $40. That's what I think. And have you ever owned a pair? Yes. When I was in Ohio, I used to be cowboy boot down. Kirk, I've been traveling more in Mexico. I rarely get gringo priced, but I'm polite and speak with my terrible Spanish. And hey, that's the thing. Your Spanish can be bad. My Spanish is far from really good. But it's good enough that I'm sharing love. My Spanish, when you're speaking Spanish, just the hola, and just a big part of communicating in Mexico is it's all about sharing love and appreciation. Thank you. Hi. How are you doing? And that's just sharing love and appreciation. Thank you. Hi. That's about it. If you can say hi and thank you and have a good day, everybody's cool with you. That's it. I see some Americans that come down here, they don't even try to speak Spanish. They go up to the counter at 7-Eleven. They just start talking English. They don't say hello. They just say, I want some Colgate toothpaste. I mean, they don't say hi, you know, it's just like, and it's ugly. It's like that book, it's the title, The Ugly American. It's just ugly. Sure. And if you go in there and you don't share the love right up front, all the Mexicans are with one another. They're right up front sharing the love. Let's share the love first, then we'll do some business. But if you walk in and you're the ugly American and you're just bossing the person around, that's when you get gringoed. Because if you're acting like that, you deserve to get gringoed. There you go. I just said it. Tooth Fairy, I adore Mexicans. The meaning of life is in Mexico. If you're struggling with humanity in your own country, try Magical Mexico. Ooh, you ought to write a song, girl. I am Mexicana. Ahora, Viva Mexico. That means I am a Mexican chick now. That's funny. Yeah. I get to talking with the taxi cab drivers. They say, how long you been here? I've been here 20 years. And I tell them, soy Mexicano. Soy, that means I am permanently a Mexican. Woo-hoo. All right, you guys. Well, this Brian Maiden. Oh, the leather belts are the best and last forever. Yeah, Brian, we talked about this before. I bought a leather belt in Leon. It's fabulous. And it was $10. I mean, it was, and I wear a 32. I have a 32-inch waist. Okay. So they didn't have enough holes. It's a thick black leather belt with a buckle on it, and they didn't have enough holes so it would fit me just right. So they punched in 2 new holes so it would fit. $10. How you can't beat that? Yeah. Wherever I go, wherever I go, anywhere, I always greet someone. There you go. And to me, Brian Maiden, I'm going to translate the English that you just gave us. And I'm going to say that Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, he just said, wherever he goes, he expresses appreciation and love for the people that he encounters. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, you guys. Well, I'm getting ready to head to the store. I got a list of things and I'm going to get Tooth Fairy. One of the joys of living in Mexico for me is no religiosity. When I did my research, I found out that perfecto para mí, which means perfect for me. And now I got to tell you that Tooth Fairy is an atheist and she's a vegan. I'm not an atheist at all. I'm very spiritual, but hey, I get along with anybody. Yeah, they don't, nobody pushes any religion on you down here. The Catholics are cool. Even when I went to a Catholic high school, even the Catholics in my high school in Columbus, Ohio, They never even talked about God ever. They were, I'm going to say most of the Catholics that I went to high school with, you would never know they were any kind of a religion. Woo, oh my. Oh, the things that pop up. Well, you guys, I'm getting ready to head to the store. I got my shopping list all together. And you're the best of humanity, Brian. That's funny. I got my shopping list all together. I'm gonna walk out of here. I'm gonna put up that video about Santa Clara del Cobre on probably tomorrow. I'm gonna take a trip somewhere on Tuesday, and all is good. And Char Williams, Clay, thank you, Bill. I'll see everyone in a week. Clay, you're always welcome here. We're all family here. We got more people. Jim Foster Real Estate. My daughter is going to see your boy, Dion, tonight. She's a student at Colorado University Boulder. Have fun at the store. Yeah, Dion. Wow, she's going to the game. Neon Dion. Yeah, with the Buffaloes. Go Buffs. Clay, thank you. You're very welcome. Clay, you're always welcome. Char Williams, thank you for coming and sharing your joy with us. And thank you for donating to the channel. If you want to donate to the channel and you're watching the replay, there's a donate button in the description below. Hi and bye. Have a great week. You too, Dominique. Thank you. Have a great week. See you next time, girl. And have a great time in Guanajuato. Buck stops here. See you, alumni here. Go Buffs. Hola. Hasta luego. Todos, Brian Maiden. Have a great week. We're sharing the love. Everybody's sharing the love. It's like we're Mexicans. What happened? You came in here. So I got together with me and Holly. Now everybody's a Mexican now. Everybody's a Mexican. Everybody's sharing the love like you in Mexico. Right on. That's what we do here on the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. We ain't Catholic. We don't convert you to Catholicism. We don't convert you to Judaism. We convert you to joys of living in Mexico and the love of getting together and having a good time. So I want to thank everybody for sharing this Saturday morning. We're going to do next week for our first broadcast in November 2024. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Thank everybody for sharing this time with us this morning. Love you all of our family that's been joining us for like 3 years. And for our new folks who are showing up just for the first time, maybe even today. So I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. All I can say is adios, hasta luego, and love you all. Que te vaya bien.